nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you for coming. First order of business is addition to the agenda. Hearing none, we can approval of consent agenda. I would approve the consent agenda as presented.
Second.
Motion second, discussion. Discussion. What's your vote?
Thank you.
Okay, student recognition.
I'm coming.
A number of other students, yes.
Yes, okay. First of all, I think you guys have been following us, that amazing things are happening at the high school, and we're going to acknowledge the accomplishments from state FCCLA and state FBLA today, and they're going to be honoring nationals. So I'll call Alana Rogers up first. Alana placed in repurposed and redesign level 2 second place at state. And she will be traveling to Orlando, Florida here in July. So she's our one and only, so congratulations. And then FBLA, Future Business Leaders of America, we have multiple places. We have 7 people going to nationals. Emma Bohannon, she's not here. She's not here? Okay. She placed in parliamentary procedure. Mackenzie Kruger. Oh, come on up here. Parliamentary procedure, first place. They won first place in state. This is huge. First place in parliamentary procedure. And parliamentary procedure. So these 4 girls with Emma Bohannon, first place at state, so it's taken them to national. This is the second year in a row that the parliamentary procedure is heading to national. So this is big. And for our high school, it's critical that you know how much that we integrate our curriculum. So our FFA has done a really good job of preparing these girls, and with their business skills, they're going to be maybe some ag business people in the long run, because we look for a great showing for them for our nationals. Go ahead and stay up here. She placed second place in client services, which gave her a spot for nationals as well. Hey, Brandon. Yes, we do have males in our clubs too. Brandon, financial math second place, and so he will be representing us in that this year. Mackenzie Kruger did place and is represented as an agri business, and she placed 3rd place at state. And then we do have one more male, Matthew Deckett, come on down, placed 3rd place in financial math. So with these kiddos, they're going to head on out to Anaheim, California here at the end of June. And they'll be competing and do a little sightseeing, but mostly competing and meeting up with their fellow Kansas FBLA. So we stay in the same hotel as everybody else, so it's going to be a really good time. And then we get back, and then Alana steps, I don't even know if she has time to wash her clothes. She actually gets right on a plane and one day, and then she'll head off to Florida. So these are the great opportunities, and our community has been wonderful in supporting them and helping us raise the money so that these guys can represent Burlington High School. So one more round of applause for us. Thank you guys so much.
And if we could get the students to come in here to take a picture, we would appreciate it.
Which one?
Go ahead. Call Mrs. Finlayson and she'll...
Hey, Miss Freeman, don't shoot. He was oh, Sophie. Because I takes care of me.
What Christy said was that
Miss
many
Freeman
parents
doesn't-
don't want to hear from the rest of the meeting. They can follow the students and drop the other.
She could get
There are a few more chairs out here.
There's places to sit. We good?
Thank you, though.
I don't know who else back
So
around the
next on
corner.
the agenda, concerns of earning VFB 224 cases. Looks like we have quite a crowd. And so we as a practice, we ask for response to this, it's the same topic.
It says same groups.
Saying what?
Groups.
And groups with the same special interest may be asked to appoint a spokesperson. Thank you.
These are all individual patrons. They're not a group.
Excuse me?
These are all individual patrons. Are you all part of a group? Are you all one?
Well, I disagree with that.
It's public comment section.
You got-
This is the public. This is who we work for. They have appointed us. If they have a comment,
Who
they
wants to
have the right
speak?
to speak.
Speak. You're welcome to speak. 5 minutes.
Do you want me to speak here or where?
Yeah, you can.
To whom it may concern, I'm writing on behalf of my coach, Sarah Rice. She has been one of the best volleyball coaches I've had. This is not just because of the fact that she knows volleyball, which she does. She's taught me most everything I know about volleyball. It's because she's cared. She's cared about each and every one of her players. If you were to go up to her one day and say, "Hey coach, I've had a really tough day. Can we please talk?" She would do anything she could just to make your day better. I think with all my coaches I've had, and I've had multiple different sports that I've had coaches for. The most important quality for me is being kind, and she's definitely been that. In my experience with her as my coach, I got diagnosed with tendonitis in both my feet. When we did exercises as a team and my teammates were running, I wasn't able to do that because of the doctor's note that told me I could not do that. She found different solutions to keep me exercise and keep me running and keep me doing other stuff that I could do, like core workouts out to the side, so I was still part of the team. She also taught me the importance of teammates and how sports and creating a family around you and finding new friends or becoming stronger friends with the ones that you got is such an important thing for life. Some people may argue that her practices were hard. But I've been taught my whole life that if you don't have a coach pushing you and you don't have hard practice, then they've given up on you and they don't believe in you. That's something that she has never failed to do. She has never stopped believing in me or any of my teammates around me. She's always tried to push me to my hardest. In my opinion, it's amazing to have a coach that wants to push you and make you better. Coach Rice has helped with the transition to high school and gave great advice when I needed it. I saw kids that wouldn't participate in class that really started to care about volleyball and wanted to participate in volleyball. And then they started participating in class better. And I think that has to do a lot with her coaching. She was an outstanding role model for all of us girls and made my volleyball as a person and my volleyball knowledge grow. I'll read a text that she sent me after a game. Hey B, great hustle tonight. You are everywhere, giving your mom a heart attack. You are such a natural player. You can hit the ball so well. You can only do so much, but give it your all. So proud of you. You guys played better as a unit. Most of you guys have played together for me. Little pieces are weaker, but figure them out and a way to make them better, as a team. Keep leading on the court and running that court. I believe in you. Thank you, guys. My name is Ava. Coach Rice is my volleyball coach. I am here tonight to express my feelings about her. She is not only a great volleyball coach, but an even better role model. As a coach, she pushed us. She taught us how to overcome failure and work together as a team. She helped us learn from our mistakes and taught us how to become better teammates. Not only did we become better athletes and teammates, but better young women. During volleyball last year, I had a season-ending ankle injury. Coach Rice was there for me every step of the way. However, you don't have to take my word for it. I'm going to read you a text she sent me. And I quote, "Hey, my girl, I saw your dad tonight and he told me about ankle surgery. I know this stinks, but when you're ready for rehab, I'll be there if you need me. We can go to the gym or shoot or play volleyball. You got this. Stay positive and you have such a long athletic career ahead." Surgery. Months after my volleyball season was over, I had surgery on my ankle. Before I was home from the hospital, there were flowers waiting for me at my house. This showed me how much she cared about the well-being of her players. It would be truly a shame if the younger generation never got to experience Coach Rice as a coach. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Jeremy Cole. I'm here to talk about a coach that had a great impact on my volleyball skills. This coach has helped me through so much. She was the main reason I kept doing volleyball. She always made sure I was okay on and off the court, making sure I was 100% while playing and while I wasn't playing. She had taught me a lot in this sport and has helped me greatly through my 2 years on how to be better and push myself to be the best volleyball player I can be. The first year I started out, I was not the best, and she would stay after reminding me that I could do it, and she would always have faith in me and help me and everyone improve on anything that needs to be improved on. I'm going to read you a text that she sent. The first game. Wow, you played lights out. I'm so proud of you. I know you had it in you, and that's the hustle and effort we need. I think more conditioning, and you'll be able to provide that each game. It clearly needs you as a leader on the team. Keep working hard, stay positive, let's get better. See you on Monday. Proud of you. She was a great coach and an amazing person at that, and everyone coming to play volleyball these next years deserve to have an amazing coach like her, and to help them improve on everything you can in volleyball. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Maya King, and I'm here to talk about the impact Coach Rice had on me in volleyball. Last year, I was not the best at volleyball, nor did I enjoy it, but this coach made me think otherwise. She did everything she could to make me a better athlete, and she did it. She would always stay after practice with me in practice, hitting, serving, blocking, or anything that I needed to work on to improve it. She didn't only make me a better player on the court, but off the court also. She would text me and tell me how to improve my volleyball skills out in practice. Not only did she make me a better player, but also a better person in volleyball. She would always believe in me and even help me believe in myself and not stay in my head. She would text me if I had a bad day or game, and I quote, "Hey, Coach Rice, keep your head up. Everyone will have an off game one day. You are vital to your team. I love your competitive spirit, but tailor it to be positive. You can do this, Maya. Rest and get ready for Monday." She made me love volleyball and made it enjoyable. I wouldn't love this game, be a better player, or have a better mindset if it wasn't for Coach Rice, and I feel very upset that the younger girls will not be able to experience the amazing coach that she is. Thank you.
I'll make mine short. Travis Moore. I'll speak on behalf of Worm since she's at the JV game tonight. So as a parent, you guys are hearing the girls' perspective, right? As a parent, I can't say enough about her, the confidence she puts in those girls, and you can see it. The way they play as a team, as they said, I mean, they pretty much said everything, so, but she wasn't able to be here, so, and I wanted everybody to hear a parent's perspective too. We see that as well. It isn't just a girl thing.
Jeremy Count, I'm just going to speak on the impact that coaches can have on young girls, especially at the middle school level. Sport is a vehicle to create pathways for students by developing skill sets that will benefit them in their lifetime. Teachers in school classrooms teach important subjects such as reading and math, but sports develop soft skills such as teamwork, leadership, communication, and resilience, which every single one of these girls have mentioned, which so many employers say are lacking in today's workforce. Take it a step further, according to UN Women, which is the United Nations Foundation, 80% of female Fortune 500 CEOs played sport in their formative years. And women who played sports are more likely to be in senior management roles than those who do not. But sadly, by the age of 14, girls drop out of sports at twice the rate of young boys. Also, I noticed in the agenda tonight that there's an attachment that talks about the high school, the activities and athletics and the participation rates, and it talks about their GPAs. And there's a wide gap between the GPAs of those who participate in sports or activities and those who do not. So to me, that's why it's so critical to have great coaches for females at the junior high level, right? Because that's where they drop out. Can we keep them in sports at that level? Coaches that can push girls to be their best, have standards that make them not just better athletes, but also better people. Coaches that empower these young girls to advocate for themselves. Let them know it's okay to take up space, how to navigate sticky situations, and stand in your values. Coaches that let the young girls know that strong and confident is a good look for everyone. Coaches that get girls excited about playing sports, what it means to work hard, and staying out for sports. And most importantly, at the end of the day, coaches that care about these girls' well-being, which they do by having strong relationships and making connections, which from the girls, the parents, that is happening. Not every coach has the ability to challenge athletes, push them, be tough on them, and at the end of the day, those athletes would run through a brick wall for them because they know that coach would run through a brick wall for them as well, and that coach is Sarah Rice. The outpouring of support, he said it speaks for itself, so Burlington School District needs more coaches like Sarah who can be a great female role model for young girls. She's been a champion in sports and is winner at life. So the Lady Cats, the current Lady Cats, future Lady Cats deserve to have coaches like that.
Guys, make a motion. I didn't know they were all doing that either. Like many of you sitting in front of me, and even in this room, we have called Burlington our home our whole lives. Many of you I have known since I was young. I babysat your kids, coached your kids, and even called you a friend. 2 weeks ago, I was at a meeting in Eudora, and the speaker asked us all to think about what perspective means and what gives us perspective. Everyone went around the room. Many talked about young parents, the challenges of education today, and loss. But the point was, perspective leads to understanding and solutions. What perspective does this board have right now? At the end of January, I was brought into a meeting organized by the middle school athletic director and was told I was being non-renewed. A misunderstanding that could have easily been squashed, but instead of adult conversations, a cover-up began. I have never had one athlete, parent, or fellow coach complain. I've never had a verbal or written warning because I am a good coach. This has nothing to do with my coaching. This is because I ask questions, I am not afraid to offer my opinion, and I am willing to advocate for something I believe in, even if I am a minority. A couple days later, I met with the middle school principal in hopes to gain understanding and guidance. I was told that this was not his decision and to go to the superintendent or school board. As far as an explanation for understanding, I was told the athletic director was just doing what he thought was right. Really? Right for who? To this day, I am still waiting for my side to be heard and for questions to be asked. All employees, including myself, should have had the opportunity of due process, and that did not happen. Shortly after that meeting, I then met with the board president and the superintendent. Again, I was there to gain understanding and guidance, but was met with intentions questioning my integrity and character rather than intentions to understand what actually happened.
I was talked to about the importance of self-reflection and assured a thorough investigation would be done, which turned out to be a lie. How do you conduct any investigation, let alone a thorough one, when you don't even ask me, the person accusations are about, one question, or even ask my coaching staff? That is because one was never done. I last had any communication on this matter March 12th from the superintendent. I was told he would be presenting his findings to the board and I would not be able to review them prior. Well, here we are, 2 months later, and I have no idea what was said about me, or my character, or what was even presented about me. Where are the ethics in that? Any self-reflection would tell you there are none. Despite all of this happening, I continue to be involved with the administration. I was chosen to be on the steering committee for the elementary bond and also a founding member of our new school education foundation. I was one of the very few that publicly advocated and defended the bond issue, took verbal punches left and right, and was repaid by my coaching position being posted and sent out on a district-wide email. Totally blindsided. What an intentional, careless act. You could not name a bigger slap in the face, professionally and personally, than to do that. At a time when we didn't need any added drama, the superintendent could not even wait 2 weeks for a formal board vote to post my coaching position. That act alone should tell this board everything about his character, morals, and leadership. He told me the buck stops with him. No. The buck stops with you all. Do not continue to get your information from a funneled, biased source. You can ask questions. You control this district, not him. From my short time coaching and being involved with the steering committee, I have realized how toxic this culture is. The distrust from the community and the administration can hardly be measurable. Actually, it can. Yes votes, 305. No votes, 793. That is a call for change. We have got to get back to a high standard of excellence, where losing is okay, but winning is expected, where students and teachers come first, not second, and where there is not a gap between our community and the school. If allowing administrators to not seek truth, act on lies, and perform mediocre, then yes, you all, the Board of Education, are doing your job just fine. However, this community wants something vastly different. Poor leadership has continued for too long, and now is the time to create that change, mend the relationships he has broken, and earn our trust back. Thank you.
Anyone else then? Likewise, Brandon?
He said anybody else. I didn't know if you wanted to.
Okay, where would you like me to stand? Any preference? I'll just do it from here. So, again, thank you for the opportunity to speak again. I'm Jeff Suter, representing the Likewise Steering Committee for Burlington, and where we have over 150 community members who have signed a petition requesting that USD 244 allow a release time religious instruction program here at the school. This request is consistent with the 1952 Supreme Court ruling and supported by 2 Kansas Attorney General opinions allowing release time religious instruction for public school students during school hours, provided the following are satisfied. Number 1, it's off school property, privately funded, and then third, parent approved. Currently, there are over 500 thriving religious instruction programs serving over 50,000 public students across the nation. As a result of the April 14th Board of Education meeting, the superintendent did communicate to me that we are taking your request under consideration. As a reminder for both the superintendent and the board, the request consisted of the following. Number one, board members engage by possibly creating an advisory committee, working with the Burlington Lifewise Steering Committee, other community members, and staff as necessary to support the following. Objectively review the available information on released time religious instruction. Physically visit with and observe local school districts with active release time religious instruction programs. That includes Madison and Sabetha in the local area. And then also develop a cost-benefit analysis for a release time religious instruction program within the school district. And finally, follow that up with considering the draft release time religious instruction policy that was proposed at the April board meeting, that you objectively review that, considering the above proposed advisory committee. So I would like to provide each of the board members a copy of a letter from First Liberty Legal addressing the constitutionality of release time religious instruction. The letter provides an independent analysis of the legality of Lifewise Academy's release time religious instruction program. The letter addresses the following. It addresses the background of the constitutionality of release time religious instruction, specifically focusing on the 1952 Supreme Court ruling that I discussed above. It also has detailed legal analysis in the letter with a statement that includes the following. Finally, a school district may expose itself to liability if it chooses to decline a partnership with Lifewise Academy because of Lifewise Academy's religious character. And then in conclusion, the analysis states, after reviewing the details of Lifewise Academy's release time religious instruction program and analyzing it according to relevant law, we conclude that Lifewise Academy is both a beneficial and constitutional program for public school students. Now, I am aware that tonight's agenda has a board report item identifying that the superintendent contacted legal counsel and the council recommended that USD 244 not adopt the proposed requested release time religious instruction policy that was discussed at the April 14th Board of Education meeting. However, we implore that the board not close the door to release time religious instruction program with this limited level of effort. Again, I remind you that this is a community-backed initiative that, where adopted in other school districts, has observable, positive social, emotional impact, as well as improved attendance and reduced in-school and out-of-school suspensions. Considering the significant positive student impact, which comes at no cost to the school district, and in light of the legal analysis provided to you tonight from First Liberty Institute, it is recommended that the board take the appropriate time and attention as requested at the April 14th Board of Education meeting and reiterated again tonight here to fully vet the benefits and, yes, potential challenges of a release time religious instruction program at Burlington USD 244. We, as a steering committee, will be happy to work with you through the proposed assessment process. I leave you with a final thought. We believe so strongly in the importance of this program that if there is one single student that benefits from it at USD 244, we are willing to put in the effort to make it happen. Thank you.
Jay had it.
Well, school board, I'd say you ought to be encouraged by this. How many meetings have we had where I've been the only person here that's not part of the school board, part of the school system? So for me, this is American government.
Yes, I agree.
So I appreciate the students and parents and everyone being here. I personally appreciate that. And I need to look around. Mr. Spring's not here, is he?
No.
I wanted to acknowledge him. In his report, he included band and vocal on his extracurricular report. You know how I feel about that. And there's a band concert tonight, and so I'm sure that's where he is, where he ought to be. And so I just wanted to acknowledge him. But the reason I wanted to speak to you tonight was last month at the meeting, talking about 21st century learners, and we emphasized being ready to contribute to the 21st century society, and we're trying to get learners to do that. And Robert Kaplan wrote a series of books several years ago about how the world is connected, and no longer isolated here and isolated there. A person in Sierra Leone can be as connected to Burlington, Kansas as anyone else in the world. And so in view of that, we ought to take a real high view of language instruction. I can't even speak. Foreign language instruction. We reported last month that there were 13 students taking Spanish. 13 in a class, in a school of 400. We're not ready to contribute to the international community. And then during the senior interviews the other day, we had one student who had taken German. And so I talked to him in German for a moment, and it was very clear he had no idea what was going on. And he took German online and confessed that, although he got an A in it, that there wasn't much learning there. And we ought to do better than that. We want to produce students out of Burlington High School that contribute to this 21st century, the world that we're connected in. And so I'd encourage you to see how we can do better than that. We ought to get more students doing foreign languages because that's the world we live in. So thank you.
Thank you. Next is written communications. So we have a thank you note that we received from Ronald McDonald House Charities, Kansas City, for donation made in memory of Jennifer Connor's mother, Gloria Warren. So we have start on.
I have any additions to my report or questions on my submission?
Any questions, Darla?
You had stated 42 students per kindergarten, so do you expect there to be some more after that?
I mean, usually I would say like 5 to 6 kind of surprises usually happen, so yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Nothing else for Darla? Does somebody have Matt report?
Yes, if you have any questions, just let me know and I'll get those to Matt. He is at the DMS Pops concert tonight, as Jay alluded to.
I thought it was Aaron commented that he had some report in there about extracurricular activities, really good, so. Anything else for him? Jody Grover, high school.
As I put in the front of the, I guess the first paragraph is, I feel like our mantra right now is all we do is win. If you guys are not cool enough to know that song, you should know it. Right now, we're first place with going into regionals. As of right now, I'm headed up to watch the kiddos tomorrow in softball for Rock Creek. And cross your fingers, we have 2 wins. We know we're going to get 2 wins. And go Key first. Thursday we're going in second because of baseball games. We got bumped up in baseball second. We'll play Thursday night, first round of regionals. And so some good things happening there. As a report, I do want to just mention, come on, forensics. We got second in state for forensics, and we just have amazing kids. And then Matthew Daggett was here, Governor's Honor. So I have not had any sleep for the last month, and it has been all worth it. We have amazing kids doing amazing things. And with that being said, I do want to talk about our wonderful teachers and Teacher Appreciation Week. We had a lot of fun this last week and a lot of community support. So we ended up with some chair massages on Friday, so that was very appreciated. And then one thing we're trying to show our kids, because we don't have to like our children every day, just as a parent too, but we love our kids. And Miss Spangberg, if you saw on Facebook, did an amazing project. There was 37 art kids, and when that one kid that you like, oh my God, I didn't even know that you knew my name, comes up and gives you a platter. that's when you know you're making a difference. So it was an amazing project. This was the first year she did it. Some teachers got like 4 and 5 of them, and they're just making a big impact. So appreciate that. Again, we have amazing kids and amazing teachers. So it's been a whirlwind, and it's going to not stop. So just keep following along, because just wish for wins and finish strong. And a little note to you guys, I do need to know if you're coming to graduation. So please let me know. We have a spot saved for you, and it's just an amazing senior class. So I hope you guys can be there.
Thank you, Jody. Anything else, Jody?
And I just wanted to thank Jody and her group of students and staff that came out to the Wolf Creek Nature Trails. I talked about it at the April meeting. They came out. We had 152 students. We had a huge cleanup workday morning out there. We've gotten lots of positive feedback from community members and the staff members at Wolf Creek, and it's spurred more interest and more interest in future involvement out there. So, and it was a great day. No, we ended the day with like one little scratch, so it was great. So,
yes. And the funny part is that if you were in Monique's group, because Selena was more of the manager oversaw everything. I'm going down and taking pictures because that's what I do. And Monique's like, "Where are you guys at? Come on, get the clippers," you know. And so she's trucking them down this, and they're like, "Really?" And so she was wearing them out. So we had a good time. They were tired. It was not sunny. It was kind of just it had all that rain, and after they were done being sore, they want to do it again. So we'll keep it going.
Thank you, Joe. Lindsay.
I don't really have anything in addition, just to say that all of our certified positions are filled going into next year, so that's exciting. And I have not done final numbers for what it's going to look like for paraeducator openings, but I will say that the majority, the overwhelming majority of the parents are saying they are returning next year. So I'm actually somewhat encouraged before I put the pencil to paper that it's not going to hit 30 openings. It's going to hit as much as I'm confident.
Just E-rate funding in my report. Our commitment from the federal government came through on that project, so that allows us to move ahead on ordering equipment and getting it installed. And we are 3 weeks out from our conversion to Skyward Cumulative, so we are working busily. Just heard a big gasp of air from Courtney back here. We have a lot to do in the conversion process, but we're ready for it. We're excited for it.
Craig, when that happens, will we get all of our history for the board stuff too? Is that tied to Skyward?
No, it's not. No.
Okay.
We need to get more uploaded as we moved over. We've got it in a folder. We just need some time to upload.
Okay, thank
Okay.
Our USD 244 service and retirement celebration that will occur on May 21, starting at 2 p.m. at the high school. We'll have an early release day that day for the last day of school at 12:30. We'll be honoring many employees for years of service and other honors. Again, I've attached our years of service report. It shows the many years our staff have served USD 244 and the education profession. So again, the board's invited to attend that celebration. We are looking to make a change to start times next year based on an issue that was raised at our teacher linkage meeting in April, as well as the start times moving up for BHS activities next year. So they're looking at some activities being moved up to a 4 o'clock start time instead of a 4:30 start time next year for some high school activities. So we're going to look to stagger start times at buildings like we have done in the past. So high school and middle school will have a 7:50 to 3:05 school day. That'll move their time up 5 minutes earlier. Keep them in school a little bit longer. BES will have an 8 o'clock to 3:15 school day. This will change. This change is going to help with an academic issue that was brought to our attention at the April teacher linkage at BES, as well as have kids involved in activities. Those that are involved in activities at high school, they'll be in class a little bit longer because they're starting 5 minutes earlier. And again, I want to thank our staff, students, families, and board members for another excellent year. There's just too many positives to mention, so we're very fortunate to have a strong educational culture in USD 244.
Craig, what's the reason behind the 4 o'clock instead of 4:30 start date for activities?
You might want to speak on that, Jody. Taylor is not here. He's at baseball, at JV baseball tonight, but go ahead.
The league passed it for our league, so Pioneer League. And so it was a vote of them to move it up. So
I don't know the reason behind the decision now.
I think it's just because of ask these kids getting home at 11 and 12 o'clock at Prairie View. I got home and I was fueling up at midnight. The buses hadn't got back yet, and it's long days. So even moving up 30 minutes does help. So that's really all it is moving it up 30 minutes.
Yeah, the countervailing, it's harder for parents to do the things that are
Correct.
So
Correct. Yeah.
it's a balance, I guess.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. Anything else? We'll move to board reports. I've got a couple of things here. Concerning Lifewise Academy, I'd like to read on the advice of legal counsel, the board is declining the request from Lifeway Academy to adopt their suggested policy. We remain as committed as ever to our vision that each VHS graduate will be prepared for life and a passionate contributor to the career and community. Next, I have a statement to the board. To all board members, as members of this board, our foremost responsibility is to serve the best interests of our district, our students, staff, and community. It is vital that we uphold the integrity and credibility of our decision-making process. We have a duty to make careful, informed choices based on thorough discussion, evidence, and shared values. Recently, there has been considerable pressure, both from within our board and from the community, to reconsider some of our previous decisions. While community input is essential and valuable, we must be cautious not to allow external influences or peer pressure to override the deliberation and consensus we have worked hard to build. Changing course solely because of external pressures or public opinion after decisions have been made can undermine the trust placed in us as elected officials. It risks creating an impression that our decisions are reactive rather than thoughtful and principled. This can erode our leadership's confidence and diminish our patrons' respect for us. Therefore, I believe it is important that we stand firm in our commitments, demonstrate consistency, and ensure that our actions align with the best interests of our district. We owe it to our community to be transparent, deliberate, and principled in our decisions. That is how we maintain trust, demonstrate integrity, and effectively serve those who elected us. And with that, I just wanted to reinforce and pass those along, this current job description for board members. You can read those and review them. And that's it for me.
That's all you got?
Yeah. Anybody else have anything?
Yeah, I have a couple of things. First off, I would like to thank the members of the advisory committee that helped with that with the bond. Darla, thank you for that. So it was a lot of time and commitment. It was a process started in about 18 months ago. The board had discussed it in September. In October, we reached out to, I don't know, around 100 or so people to try to garner an advisory committee. We gathered them. We met 3 times. We had lengthy meetings and discussions, and that's when we kind of, we're at a crossroads, right? Is it new? Is it remodel? What do we do? From that advisory committee, we came to the conclusion with them and the board to move forward with new construction. At that point, then we had a town hall meeting. We asked the public to come, get more information. We sent out a survey. We wanted to get public feedback and input on that also. It was a process where we're involving the public the whole time, right? And then from the survey results, the committee, the town hall, is where we were guided by the public to move forward with new and go for a bond. It didn't happen. The public, had voted, and that was great because we work for you, right? You have elected us to represent the people. And so if that is not the direction that the public wants to go, then we will regroup and we'll come up with a new plan. I hope that we'll get more input and feedback and involvement from the public in, whatever we plan next, because we do have to do something, right? There are some needs that we've got to fix. And so, again, I just want to thank everybody that was involved with that. And then for my next thing, I want to thank all of you tonight for all of your comments, for coming in, especially our students, and I'm going to get teary, like Erin said. When we can have students, young women especially, come and stand up, in front of a board of adults and speak from their hearts, it's a good thing. So I want to thank the public for coming and speaking on behalf of what they believe in, because we are elected to represent you. Again,
Yes.
we work for the public, right? And the superintendent works for us. So we don't know what we don't know, right? There might be lots of rumors or things on Facebook, or posts up here, that, or whatever, but we don't know what we don't know. We are 7 people who represent a district of thousands. We can't be everywhere all the time. We try to be out in public, but we can't be at every game, in every classroom, in every school building. We need the public talking to the board. It is not an us against you. It is a collaboration, and we need the public to communicate with the board and communicate with all of us. We need you talking to us. We can't do anything about something we don't know about. So again, we don't know what we don't know.
Can I just make one request of the board, please, on regards of you don't know what you don't know? I would highly recommend that you consider having a survey or an independent body come in and talk with your staff about the culture that you have at the school, because I believe there is a culture of fear and intimidation that is present that the board is not aware of, that they need to take some action on. You heard it, one example from Sarah, but there is a problem in the school system that your staff is afraid to bring up for fear of retaliation. You Wolf Creekers should recognize that, because it is ingrained in us. And we are not seeing it, you're not hearing it. You need to find out about that and take some action.
I appreciate that. We rely on all of you to talk to us, right?
But please listen to your staff
Yes.
and feel
But
them
we need the
empowered.
staff to talk to us.
They need
That's
to
what
feel
I'm saying.
empowered and
We need-
protected.
What's that?
Too scared to lose their job.
Again, we are for,
The
we
public
work
session is
for
over.
you.
Just let Selena talk. Okay,
We work for you, we represent you. We need to know what you want, and we need to know of specific incidents or whatever, good or bad. So I just encourage the public. Thank you.
Right, so I have 2 things. So Sarah Rice and I attended, so from board, Sarah Rice and I attended a school foundation meeting about schools are now, there are so many schools, lots of schools have foundations. And so they are trying to get a statewide, many states, so Oklahoma, for example, has a foundation program basically for their whole state. So Kansas is starting to do that. Lots of schools were there. We went to Eudora, Goddard, I had to think about this. Goddard, May, several schools were there, and so they want to make a statewide program basically. So like if one school is doing something, then other schools can see what they're doing. So it's a wonderful, wonderful day, collaboration. We were there for 2 hours, and it was nonstop. And basically at the end, they were like, well, what do you want to do to be part of this? And so it was very, very valuable. So I'm going to be sharing that. We have a meeting coming up next Friday. So that's the update on the school foundation. And then the other thing I do want to say is about LifeWise. So I have met with members of LifeWise. That is no secret. It is no secret that I did express and have expressed that I do encourage you, and I know that it's not the answer that you want from me as a board member, but I encourage you to think outside the box. I personally do have concerns about the safety of students leaving during the school day. And there are other, I believe that there are other curriculums that could do similar. I understand, like, not all kids stay after school and not all kids do summer programs. But I think that there are other ways. It's no secret also that I used to work at the school, and so when there was no school for a day, 100 kids would attend and go to a field trip. So maybe it's a program that could be on non-school days. I have said this before, and I'm saying it again tonight. Please consider thinking outside the box and looking for another curriculum. And I do know about LifeWise and all those things, but I do think there are some other avenues that we're missing because we're not thinking outside the box. Consider other avenues. I have talked to school administration, and I am also concerned about school safety. And I don't let my granddaughter go to school every day to wonder, she may be across the street for program during the day and those kinds of things. And it is the administration's responsibility to us and to all of you to keep your kids safe. And that lends to some things that could maybe not. And I know that's not the answer we want, but I do think that there are some ways. It's just maybe not during the school. So I really encourage you to look outside to other curriculums.
Anything else out there?
Just make a quick comment. Thanks for everybody for coming. My concern all the time is that I wish more people would come to the meetings and provide input more than just one time. There's a lot of things that go on when they look at the agenda. So I appreciate the people and echo everything Jay said.
Nothing else?
I motioned to recess into executive session for 45 minutes to discuss the performance evaluation of the superintendent pursuant to the personnel matters of non-elected employees exception under KSA 75-419B1 with the board and superintendent to protect the privacy of the individual involved. Second.
Motion second, any further discussion? Motion carries 7-0. Would it be easier for us to?
You want to go back to my office?
It's either we leave or it's easy for us to go back. You don't want to feel like we're competing.
45 minutes.
TV's on.
As you see, you have a attachment there with your EMS positions.
I'll move to approve BMS supplemental positions as presented for the 2025-2026 school year.
Second.
Motion second, discussion?
Yes, I have discussion. As an elected official, we're elected to guide the district. We represent the public. We're elected to do what's right, to be honest, and vote based on truth and facts. I cannot in clear faith support the supplemental contracts of BMS or BHS based on the facts of volleyball coaching decisions for the 2025-2026 year. I do not support the recommendations and will be voting no because the decisions made are not what is in the best interest of the student, athletes, or the program 7 through 12.
So you'll be voting no on all the...
That's correct.
Further discussion? Submit your votes.
Lucas Allen is yay. Willie Hart, nay. Johnny Hernandez, yay. Ron Hess, yay. James Higgins, yay. Selena King, nay. Bob Plummer,
Motion carried 5-2. BHS supplemental positions.
Move to approve BHS supplemental positions as presented for the 2025-2026 school year.
Second.
Motion second, discussion? No discussion? Submit your vote.
Selena, not recording, where's your?
It's like in the blue circle like that.
What's that yes thing above?
It's spinning.
There you go.
Okay.
Not that I was trying to look at your vote.
You can look.
It's gonna pop up on there.
Motion carried 5-2.
You want to read them off, please?
Lucas Allen, yay. Willie Hart, nay. Johnny Hernandez, yay. Ron Hess, yay. James Higgins, yay. Selena King, nay. Bob Plummer, yay.
Moving on to retirements.
Motion to accept the retirement request of Deanna St. Clair with regret at the end of 2024-2025 school year.
Motion second, discussion?
Deanna's been a food service worker with USD 244 for 13 years.
Submit your vote. Motion carried 7-0.
Motion to accept the retirement request of Marlon Massengill with regret at the end of the 2024-2025 school year.
Second.
Marla's been a food service worker with USD 244 for 14 years.
Further discussion? Submit your vote.
And we will miss Marla and Dina at the high school. Second, who's second?
Thank you.
James, since we're out the street, right, can you please do something, staff, spreadsheets and show it, what everybody here is waiting for to see? No BMS and VHS.
Can you scroll down?
Yeah,
So
scroll down.
You can't see the whole list.
I'm not sure why it's not allowing me to.
Can you minimize down just one?
There's 8. 8, okay.
So 6, but it's not 5.
And then we do 5 children. High school. And this list is on the, I just wanted to get a tour of the state.
Thank you. Okay. Results monitor, results report. So, well, actually, we talked a little bit about math, but the extracurricular, you can see results up there on that. Participation, yeah.
I don't know if Jody or Darla want to comment at all. I know Taylor and Matt are kind of events.
Is the spots where, for example, in forensics, there's blanks, and then let down on FFA, did we not have a program that year, or just we do not have the information?
We tried to go back to the information, so we were pulling it, so we're still working on it.
Okay.
And like Skills USA, this is its first year, is a CTSO.
I just wanted to make sure we didn't have forensics with 16 people and then not have it the next year. I thought, I remember people going to nationals last year.
Correct,
So,
correct.
Okay, so motion.
sorry.
Move to accept the results 2 monitoring report considering technology education extracurricular activities, select results as reasonable progress toward meeting the board's result policies.
Second.
Motion second, discussion. No discussion, submit your vote. You did? We got 7 to show on that. Motion carried 7-0.
The curriculum, it's a preschool.
Contracts and approval. Fax curriculum materials, so we need, need a motion to accept that.
How long was this? It's usually set it out.
Correct.
In the board office.
Yes, and we put a posting on the website for that information for 2 weeks.
Any public comment or anything? Yeah, nothing about that.
No. You can see the focus areas: foundations of restaurant management, culinary arts, foundations of restaurant management, relationship skills for love, life, and work. Those are the types of things that are focusing in on these on this curriculum adoption.
So I'm going to show my newness on this a little bit. We're accepting this. Is this until we replace with someone else? Or is this for a set period of time?
This is for this upcoming year, for a
Just
set
this-
period of time. We evaluate curriculum based on needs somewhere between 5 and 7 years.
Okay.
Good question. And family and consumer sciences for FACS.
Motion to approve the fax curriculum materials as presented.
Did we? I guess we just approved it tonight. I just didn't know if we got input from the new fax.
I don't know.
I'm going to say, we just did hire her, so probably the
Right.
answer is no. That's the direction in terms of the program, where we see it going right now.
Yeah,
There could be, go ahead, Jeff. Go ahead, Jeff.
with the new materials too, it offers a Cert Aid Handler and Cert Aid Manager certifications that falls along with what the Kansas Board of Education has us do with certifications. And so the person is well aware, like actually sent me an email, like what training night you go to, and so
Okay.
well aware that taking this position, that they wouldn't have, they don't offer that in college. You don't get certified in that. And so what we purchase, it goes along with that, so our kids will get those certifications upon completion of the class.
Okay,
So,
good. So she knows she's good.
Communication has been there, yes.
Thank you.
Okay, cool.
Do I need to re-motion?
No, I think that was just discussion, so we got a second, and any further discussion? Make sure we'll,
A second, yes.
Second, and jump right into discussion.
Yeah. Sorry about that. Motion carries 7-0. Now move to construction manufacturing curriculum materials.
And again, this focuses on drafting. This information was displayed for 2 weeks for public viewing. No comments were made. Nobody stopped by to look and see what we're doing with drafting. But again, I don't know if you have any other comments. This was looked at through Mr. Buck. Mr. Buck is our teacher for this class, and he's very much in favor of this being used for the construction and manufacturing curriculum.
Motion to adopt the construction and manufacturing curriculum materials as presented.
Second. Motion seconded, discussion. Submit your vote. Motion carries 7-0. You want to talk about,
Yes.
okay.
Right, yeah, so this is looking to approve Kansas Board Solutions as our employee benefit program. Again, over the last several months, we've been researching an alternative to American Fidelity Employee Benefit Solutions. In the process, we conducted a staff survey to gain insight into what our employees desire from an employee benefit company. Kansas Board Solutions offers, again, the same benefits for employees, including supplemental insurance options, again, with improved customer service. So I'm just going to mention that Nicole Laughlin and Christy Hess have been taking kind of the lead on this. I've been involved in it as well, and when they got to the final stages, we've just had a lack of customer support systems, customer support from American Fidelity here. It seems like they've had 4 different representatives in the last 5 years, and they just really haven't been great for that customer support piece. Kansas Board Solutions, those people are going to be the consistent people that will be able to serve our employees. And I recommend the board for KBS and their new 125 plan for employee benefits.
So these employee benefits are for both BUTA and non-BUTA personnel, or
all employees?
All employees, right.
All eligible.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. Good question, thank you.
Motion to approve Kansas Board Solutions as our new 125 plan employee benefits provider.
Second.
Motion seconded, discussion. Submit your vote. Motion carries 7-0. Student issue.
We have none. And
Negotiations?
yes, I don't really, we're working to set our first meeting in late May or early June. It's just been busy here at the end of the year, so working on trying to narrow that down to hopefully a May 22nd meeting. I think I've sent out an email to you all on the board that are on the negotiations team. I'm going to hopefully get some feedback for that. Maybe we can make May 22nd work for that first meeting.
I would like to say something in that work session.
That's going to be the 5th Monday in June. But so that won't tie into that. We'll stay off of that date for negotiations. Thank you for that information.
Debriefing. Anybody have anything?
Thank you, everybody, for coming. I know that we see you out in public too, talk to you in public, but when you sit across this table and listen to what you say, it doesn't fall on deaf ears. I take that personally.
The only thing I have to say is I have gone to the board and it did fall on deaf ears, and then it got to the superintendent.
I'm speaking for myself.
I'm just telling you, we're trying.
Thank you.
Thank you for talking, and especially to the students that taught.
It's everyone.
It is.
Anybody else have anything? Meeting's adjourned.